Hi everybody, it is Bubbly4041 and I am back with my next video. In this video, as promised, I'm going to show you the fourth installment of my Taxidermy Collection tour. Just going to go over the new pieces that I've gotten since I posted my last video, which was about a year ago or so, and just show you my current collection and the new additions. As I stated in the other videos, if you have a problem with a taxidermy, if you have an issue with taxidermy, you do not have to watch this video. You can simply just click away, and all of the pieces that I collect are from non-endangered species. I don't support the taxidermy and acquiring of pieces of animals that are either threatened or endangered. So all my pieces are from non-endangered species as far as I am aware, and I'll try to go over where I got some of them, but I don't remember that for all of them because I've had some of them for quite some time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the pieces that are on my wall, and then I have some of my newer pieces laid out on my bed, and we'll just go through all of them. If you have any questions about this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. They're always welcome, and we'll go ahead and get started. So starting on my wall over here, I have some bigger pelts, and these first two, I have a full pelted raccoon and a skunk, and these are both from Cabela's, I believe. I always like going to the Cabela's stores and seeing the really big taxidermy mountain that they have, and they do have some small taxidermy pieces there, mainly pelts, raccoons, skunks, and beavers for the most part, and they have some full-bodied mounts of pheasants as well. So these two I think are from Cabela's. He's a really pretty raccoon. He's a little bit more silver kind of than the brown. I'll go down to his tail here, and then this is the skunk as well. I do enjoy skunks. I've always said that if I had to own a wild animal or could own a wild animal as a pet, it probably would be a skunk. They just seem to be really nice creatures. Unfortunately, where I live, I am not able to own one. It is not legal, but I do think that they are nice animals, so that is them. And then we have some pieces here. This is a badger tail, I believe, and this is a coyote, a little bit of a coyote tail, and then a coyote face. I believe this was from a fair, and I think this guy was too. This is a fox face, and I just got them from a booth at a fair that I went to, I think last year or a couple years ago. So this fox face actually has both of his ears, one right there and one right there, and whiskers and such. And then this coyote face does not have the ears, it just has the face with some of the whiskers and things. So that is those pieces. And I will have to get onto my bed for some of these that are farther over. This is a little raccoon tail. He was part of a keychain that just kind of came apart, so I just keep him on my wall now. And that was from like in a mall or something, so. This is a silver fox tail. I think both of these are. This one's more gray-silver, for sure, and this one's definitely more black. They're just both keychains. Well, this one isn't a keychain, but this one is. So there's those. And then next to them, this is a red fox tail. It has some cool, the striping kind of in it, which is pretty cool. And then next to it, this is a keychain as well, but this is just a larger coyote tail here. And then I'm gonna get onto my bed here. Just give me a moment to kind of get up here and show you the other pieces. This is not this one. This one is a foxtail. A Sable Island fox? Is that what it was? People were commenting on my last videos to kind of correct me on what this tail was at, what kind of fox this tail was actually from. So I will admit I haven't looked to see if that's like an endangered type of fox or something like that. I just ended up getting this piece and this tail, I think, from the same place. I no longer remember where that was, but anyway, thank you for those who have commented about what it was. I can't remember now, but I know the comments are there, so you can look at my previous videos if you want to figure out exactly. I may be misspeaking, so. And then above that, we have a deer tail here. I just got that off of Etsy, I think. It was online. I got it for Christmas one year. And then next to it, we have a pine marten pelt. He's pretty cool. He's very soft. His tail goes down there. He's very soft, and he has orange kind of on his belly and his throat. It's orange right there, so that's pretty cool. And he's just really, really soft and fairly cute. Let's see if I can stick him back up there. And then this is one of my newer pieces. This is a foxtail that my sister got me, and it is dyed pink, kind of to match my aesthetic. This is kind of one of my favorite colors of pink. And I don't know what type of fox it was before it was dyed, and obviously it was dyed, you know, postmortem and whatever, because there are not pink foxes running around. But I do like it. I do appreciate it. And then one of my other newest pieces over here, this is a full body possum pelt. Again, possums are another one of the animals, kind of like skunks. I really do like them and appreciate them a lot. And it was really cool just to get a full body pelt of one. They're really quite docile creatures and do a lot of good for the environment in terms of ingesting ticks. And I've heard, but I haven't confirmed whether they are not necessarily immune to rabies, but they just have a lesser instance of acquiring rabies because I think their core body temperature is too low to harbor the virus, but I don't know if that's actually true. But they're really nice. I do enjoy them a lot, so I was happy to add that piece to my collection. Again, I think he was an online purchase. And then next to him, I have another raccoon tail. This one was not a keychain or anything, it's just nailed up onto my wall. It's a little bit of a fuller body raccoon tail than that one that was on the keychain. So that is that. And then this is not really taxidermy related, but it's a piece of artwork that was painted by an otter at a zoo. So that's kind of interesting, and kind of have that hanging up with everything else. And then up here we have, this is fake butterflies, but it kind of goes in with the theme. It's just a frame with some fake kind of butterflies in it. And then we have a little piece of scrap fur on top of there. Not quite sure what it is from. And then I'll get off the bed real quick to go over some of these other pieces over here. So these are real butterflies. I found them deceased and decided to mount them. I misspoke in one of my last videos and said I thought this was a monarch butterfly. It is not. It is a Viceroy, I don't know if that's how you say it, butterfly, which is essentially a knockoff monarch butterfly. They're made to look like them, but they are not the same. So that was a comment from somebody on one of my last videos, so thank you for that. And then on top of it is just a little ear piece of scrap fur. I think it's from a silver fox, I believe. One there, and then there's one on top of this one as well. And this is a white admiral butterfly. Again, I found deceased and decided to mount it, so that's pretty cool. And just an overview here, step back a little bit. So this is the whole wall, it's just the wall above my bed, and that is what is on it. All the way over. So there you go. Going over here, on this little shelf stand over here, have a couple scrap pieces here. This is a bobcat tail. It is very, very soft. I really do like it a lot. And then this is a little weasel. He's ermine weasel. He's turned white for how they turn in the winter. And this is just a scrap little tail from one, and then this is a little full body one right here. These are two more, I believe they're just badger tails. Just kind of scrap pieces of fur again. Just little badger tails. And then this is all sitting on the pelt of a rabbit. It's very soft rabbit pelt. And that's those pieces over here. And then we'll zoom on over onto my bed. I have some other pieces here. So we'll start with kind of some of these pieces of fur first. This is a newer piece. It was funny. Found it at a yard sale, actually, interestingly enough. Not quite sure what it was meant to be originally, so if somebody can help out with that, that would be great. It's a mink pelt. So it has the white fur right there and down there a little bit as well. And it has a clip like made into it. As you can see, it's the whole face of the actual mink, and then it has a clip sewn into it. So it's not meant to be its mouth, because its mouth is there. So I can get this to focus a little bit better here. Its mouth is there, but the clip is just like on the bottom part of it. I don't know. I was like, was it meant to be a tie? I'm not really sure. But there's his little face. And he's really cute. It's the whole face and everything. And then it has this part to it as well. This like little metal piece. I don't know, maybe one of you guys might know what the intention of kind of making it like that was, but it's still a piece of taxidermy, so I did bring it home, and he's really cute. And he actually has his little feeties with his little claws and everything. There's both of his little feeties. So that's pretty cool, and then his tail as well. So, interesting. It was certainly interesting. Interesting piece, but nonetheless, so this guy was in one of my past videos. This is a full gray fox pelt. Really beautiful colors in this pelt. There's his face. Try to get it. I'm holding my camera with one hand and picking up the pieces with one hand, so it's kind of hard to get it to focus here. It's kind of manual focus, so. But he has all of his whiskers, his nose, his full piece right there. The nice orange colors and the gray and the ticking come through, all the way down to his nice tail with kind of the black stripe on the top and the other colors underneath. And just a really nice pelt overall. Again, I got this at a fair, I believe, at that same kind of fair booth. It's the Maine Taxidermy Association booth, I think, at the fair. So, like him quite a bit. And then my two newer pieces that I got last year, because there obviously hasn't been any fairs this year, unfortunately. This is a bobcat pelt. I really loved the tail scrap that I got, and I decided I really wanted to get a full pelted bobcat pelt. They're just very, very soft. So there is him. And he has his little ears there. Just nice kind of markings throughout his nose and things. And then all the way down, he has where his arms were. They kind of come out like that much. And then all the way down. And his little tail. I really liked his tail. I kind of chose him. There's two to choose from at the time, and I kind of chose him because I really liked his tail. Has quite a bit of white on it. And I just thought that was cute, the pattern of his tail. And let me just flip him over real quick too, because this is the bottom of him. Beautiful colors in them. And the other one you can see the spotting on the belly there. Very, very, very soft. And the other one had a little bit more spotting on the belly, but this guy has, or girl, who's to say, just a thicker pelt. And again, I just loved the colors in the tail there. So decided to pick this one up, and that is my nice bobcat pelt. And then next to it, maybe this was the same year or a different fair, I can't quite remember, but this was also at a fair. This is a otter pelt, so that is pretty cool. You can see his nose and everything there. Nice glossy black-brown kind of fur to it. It's still very soft, but you can still feel, you know, it does have this glossy type nature of it, obviously to kind of be waterproof. And then there's his tail, pretty long. And I'll flip him over as well, just to show you guys the bottom of him. Pretty much the same thing, a little bit lighter undertones in the bottom. He doesn't really have any arms that stick out or anything, that's where they were. And just really nice kind of quality and everything overall. And he is not, I did look up the difference just to be sure. He's a river otter, which are not endangered. The sea otters are endangered, so he is not the same thing. Did make sure to kind of look up that distinction before I wanted to get one, so that is him. And then over here, a couple other things before we get to Mr. Caden. This is a swallowtail butterfly. These are my two newest kind of butterfly additions. It is a real butterfly. Again, they're all kind of found deceased, and then I mount them So that is him. And then there's this one, which is a Luna moth, which is pretty cool. See if I can show you. There it is, a little bit more up close. There's all of its antennas and everything. It's pretty cool. You don't see Luna moths all that often, and again, it was just found deceased, so decided to go ahead and just mount it up. And these nice shadow boxes, and I just haven't gotten them on my wall yet, so that is them. And then a couple other things here. This is an actual hummingbird. We just found it. Again, found it kind of deceased. It, of course, isn't going to show how beautiful the colors really are, but gorgeous throat color. It's nice and red and vibrant, and then the wings and everything and the little tail right there. He is missing part of his like brain, you can kind of see. Was like eaten out or taken out, I don't know. But, I mean, after that, his mouth is open, his tongue is sticking out, or his beak is open. And that's how we found him. You can see the really vibrant red beak colors that just kind of gleam in the light like that. It's gorgeous. And yeah, and that's the other side of him. So his little feet right there. And just found him deceased, and I decided I would just go ahead and hang on to him. So that is him. And then this is a skull that my father found while he was hunting, just out in the forest, out in the woods. And has a lot of pieces of it still intact, which is pretty cool. I think it has most of its teeth. It's missing some incisors, but other than that, most of the teeth seem to be present. Like I said, it has most of actually has that part intact on that side. It is missing on this side, but really everything is just about there. It does still, you know, hinge, open up and everything. I'm not sure exactly what it's from. If anybody has any insights, that would be great. I'm thinking the size of it, it might be, you know, a small fox or a raccoon is kind of my assumptions, but, or a fisher, I don't know, something like that. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, before we get to Mr. Caden, we have this little guy. This is a little duckling. My sister got it for me for Christmas. And he's just really cute. His nice, cute little duckling fur. It's very, very soft and puffy. And then his feet, and he has wire kind of armatures coming out of his feet, so you can quote-unquote pose him. But he's very delicate, so I haven't really tried to do that. See if I can get it to focus a little bit better here. There he is. So, he's really cute. Shading's cute, and his little tiny, let's see, he has his little tiny beginning of his little wings right there. On that side as well. So, just a cute little guy to have sitting up. And then finally, the biggest part of my taxidermy collection here is this guy. So this is Caden. He is a full mounted, soft mounted coyote, coyote, however you pronounce it. And I got him 6 years ago now, actually, almost coming up exactly on about 6 years. And so I got him off of DeviantArt originally. He was very well priced. I think I paid between $300 and $400 something for him, and that was in addition to buying the pelt. I bought the pelt and had it shipped to the creator, and then she created him. So probably altogether it was about $400 something, but really for kind of the work that she did on him and how he came out, really pleased with that price, and they can go for much more than that. So really pleased with how he came out, and I'll just kind of go over him kind of briefly with you guys. He's mostly the favorite of my collection, and I do love him quite a bit. So he has his nice thick fur, his tail down here. So a soft mount means every part of him is stuffed, and then his head is hard mounted, like they do in traditional taxidermy. So his legs, his body, he can be picked up, moved around, bended, or bent, excuse me, proper English, and has all of his pads and his claws. And I do touch up his pads every once in a while with just some black acrylic paint. He just ends up kind of becoming a little bit worn down over the time, so I just touch his little pads up, and that's totally fine. And it's in front of him. He has a little collar. Above from me, he has his claws and everything on this foot as well. Like I said, you can kind of bend every part of him. And then his head is the only thing that's really heavy because it's hard mounted. Oh, excuse me. Trying to get it so I can kind of focus it for you guys as well. So there's his head. His eyes are kind of this really nice, I can move it in the light for you here. They're this nice kind of green, like gray, blue, brown kind of green color for both of his eyes. And then there's his face, his ears and everything, and he does have some whiskers, small amount on this side, larger amount on this side. And so his head has to kind of be down because his head is really heavy, but the softest parts of him are like right behind his ears for sure. It's really, really soft. And then this is his collar with Caden on it. And I'll go ahead and just show you kind of the under part of him here as well. Just try to be careful with his head. So this is what the under part of him looks like. Again, here's his pads and his claws with a little bit more focus to him. And this is what the under part of him looks like. And for those of you who are wondering if it's not maybe too TMI, how I kind of know that he is a male is I can feel where his scrotum and his sheath and everything was, like right here. And then you can kind of see that right here is where, like where the scrotum would have been if there was still anything in there. So that's how I know he's a male. I don't know if it'd be harder to tell if it was, if he was female, I'm not sure. Like, in terms of telling a female and a male apart for taxidermy purposes, I'm not quite sure about that. So here's his head again. He's a very beautiful boy. So I will go ahead and link the person who created him. They do have an Etsy shop, and I'm pretty sure it's the same person. So I'll just go ahead and link that in the description in case you're interested. I do not know if she is doing soft mounts or anything anymore still. But I'll go ahead and link it. I don't know if her DeviantArt is even still active. I mean, that was, again, in about 2014, give or take. So I don't think that the DeviantArt is really the way to go. There's definitely a lot of options on Etsy if anybody is interested. Between foxes and coyotes and whatever else, there's certainly options out there if you're interested in one for yourself. So, but they do run fairly expensive. Red foxes being kind of not quite as expensive, and then if you get into the different colored of farmed foxes, those get more expensive. So go ahead and just do a whole overview here. We have Mr. Caden, and then all of my other, the otter, bobcat, gray fox, the mink, the little hummingbird, the skull, and the little duckling, and then the butterflies, and then of course everything on my wall back here, which you guys saw before. And then the parts over here. So that's pretty much where my collection stands at this point. Always looking to add a couple pieces to my collection every year or so, give or take. Again, if you have any questions, please put them down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video, probably model horse related. I really only do these taxidermy collection videos kind of once a year. And we'll get back to model horse related content soon. So have a good week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.